welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast. And on this Sunday morning, I just wanted to kind of talk about the possibility that this may be the ending of a very successful coaching tier. And on top of that, just a ending of uh, great rivalry as far as coaching goes. I mean, the rivalry will continue. Is this? Can we say? Is this the last of Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens? Could this be the last game that these guys coach against each other? At least with these two teams. I mean, I'm quite sure both of these guys will coach again if they happen to leave their respective teams. And, maybe down the road, they probably would meet somewhere again. But I'm just wondering, like, could this be the end of a great rivalry? I mean, these guys and battled for years. And tonight could be the end, So that was just one of the things that I kind of just wanted to get into this and kind of talk about this. This is something that unfortunately you don't see a lot because a lot of teams, I give the Steelers and the Ravens credit of sticking with their guys, because you don't get that a lot with a lot of teams. I mean, let's look just looking in the division. I mean, Cincinnati for the most part, they're pretty stable with their coaches, but look at the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they didn't had, oh man, I can't even count the number of coaches they ain't had since Mike Tomlin has been there. So this is just something that you don't see a lot, and I hate really for it to end, but if it comes to that, it's just time to move on. And like I say, with both of these franchises, they I don't know what their interview process is, but whatever it is, it seems like they really can determine, who their guys are and whatever that process they go by, it seems to be working. The Steelers, I know a lot of Steeler fans will always say, well, if you get rid of Tomlin, who you gonna get? And I'm quite sure they said that when they got rid of Chuck Noll and they got Bill Cowher, that worked out. And when Bill Cowher left, they got Mike Tomlin, and it worked out. So on that, I trust the Steelers as far as their hiring process and whatever their interview process is, because I mean, you only can go by what they have shown you, and they have hit. So when you look at it, between Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh, regular season record, Mike Tomlin is 22-17, and obviously John Harbaugh is 17-22. So Mike Tomlin has the upper hand on him in the regular season. They only met in the preseason. I mean, in postseason only 4 times, and that they're 2-2. Tomlin is 2-2. Harbaugh is 2-2. I know Tomlin won the AFC Championship game to go to the Super Bowl, and I think they beat Baltimore in a divisional matchup to get to the AFC Championship. And then Baltimore beat the Steelers twice in wild card games. So these guys are pretty, for the most part, pretty even. Pretty even. Mike Tomlin. I mean, this is going to be a very debated. This is going to be a very debated questioned and asked. Just it's gonna be a long off season with Steeler Nation because most people are gonna say, hey, you got to keep them. Never had a losing season and all that stuff. So Mike Tomlin is 192 and 114. No losing record as a head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's won 7 AFC North Division championships. He can make that 8 tonight. He's the all-time highest winning percentage with the Steelers at a .630 winning percentage. I think Cowher is like 620 something, and then Chuck Noll is like 566. But Chuck Noll actually has more wins and I think that's one of the things that kind of get confused with Tomlin. Tomlin is the highest winning percentage coach in Pittsburgh Steelers history, not winning. Actually, if he wins tonight, him and Chuck Noll will be tied with 193 victories. So it's been a great ride. It's been a great ride. 19 years. It's just a situation where me personally, I just think the message get old and it gets stale, and I just think it's kind of both. It's kind of good for both if they were to move on or separate from each other. Other than that, I mean, really not too much more you could say. You get to Tomlin's postseason record, 8-11. He's 1-1 in Super Bowl appearances. His all-time postseason winning percentage is a 4.21. So I mean, as you can see, he's not been too good in the playoffs. Like one of the issues the Steelers have right now is just go back the last 7 years. I think the last 7 years, the Steelers have made the playoff 5 of those years. No playoff victories. So my thing is we always say the standard is the standard. And it just seemed like the standard has kind of lost some of its luster, because we're, like I said before, we're not the New York Jets or New York Giants or any team like that where, a lot of teams will hang their hat on having a coach that's never had a losing season and all that stuff. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers standard should be high. I mean, I hope the Rooneys hold it at a higher standard than just having a winning season every year. Now, I understand you can't win the Super Bowl every year. That's just going to be impossible. But I think the Steelers should have a standard of at least competing for the Super Bowl every year. Not like I said, I understand you can't win it every year, but I think you should at least have a high enough standard that that you're competing for a Super Bowl every year. That you're in the mix, you're in the playoffs, you're getting some long playoff runs, and just having the opportunity to win a Super Bowl. I think that's about all you can really ask from your coach and your team. So that's just kind of my feeling, and I just kind of wanted to go over this because, like I say, tonight could be it could be the end or maybe not. A lot of people say it won't be. If you just go off the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's easy to say that it won't be, but you just never know. You just never know how things gonna work out. But with that said, let's just get right into it. So my one of my things would be the who would be up? Who you want next if we decide to move away from Coach Tomlin? Who would you want? Who you know who would be that next guy? So I've kind of went over some things with a lot of guys, and I think what I came up with what I came up with was I want a offensive minded coach. I want an offensive minded coach to to go forward with this thing. And so one of the guys that I would definitely bring in for an interview, and like I said, with the I have to give the Rooney's credit for whatever their interview process is or what they look for. If Clint Kubiak shows that, I want him. And the reason I want him is because I'm under the belief the NFL is a offensive minded league now. And I think you need an offensive minded coach. We've done the defense. We've done the defense, and I get it. Pittsburgh, they hang their pride on a tough, solid defense, and that's fine. You can still have that with a offensive coach. I mean, it's just up to the Rooneys to spend that money. I mean, now you bring in an offensive guy because I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't trust Mike Tomlin developing a quarterback. I don't, because he has his beliefs as a defensive coach, and it's just not going to work developing a young quarterback. So bring in a offensive minded coach, but also let him know that, hey, we hold a high standard of having a great defense, a tough defense, and all that is bringing in letting that offensive coach bring in a big time defensive coordinator, and you can still have both. But I want that head guy to be an offensive minded guy to help develop a quarterback. Because to me, if we get Clint Kubiak, I would trust him of bringing in maybe a Malik Wills and trying to see, can he develop that kid and and get your quarterback that way? Because the one thing the Steelers are never going to do, they're never going to totally crash out and be in a situation where they can have a top 5 pick. And to me, to get a quarterback, I mean, not even a top 5 pick. I mean, you basically need the first or second pick to get a top ranked quarterback. And I don't really see the Steelers doing that. So I think you need a guy that can truly develop a late round, not so much of not a late round guy, but a late first round quarterback. And I would definitely bring in Kubiak, and actually I would interview his brother Clay. Which is the offensive coordinator in San Francisco, and I would bring these guys in and see who I would want to go with. But we'll tackle that bridge when it comes to it, if it even comes to that. So we'll see, how the game go tonight. So that is really about it. That's all I have. And like I say, it's time for Mike Tomlin to maybe step away, still a step away. I don't know how they will handle that, but I just feel like at this point it's time. So like I said, we'll deal with that when it comes up, or if it doesn't come up, we'll talk about it. But until then, enjoy the game. It's later on tonight. I wish it was coming on now or, coming on at 1 o'clock. But until then, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We have our post-game show that will be right after the game on the Know It Alls network. So make sure you check us out. And till then, take care. Talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.